Ever notice that Mona Lisa lacks eyebrows? The reason behind the Mona Lisa's lack of eyebrows has long baffled people. This mystery has been solved thanks to an engineer named Pascal Cot. Da Vinci actually drew the eyebrows when he painted the Mona Lisa, but over time, due to the cleaning processes, the eyebrows eroded and became invisible today. Let's move on to another interesting fact. Ants rest for about 8 minutes in a 12-hour period. Yes, isn't that amazing how hardworking they are compared to us? But this type of rest is not our idea of sleep. A study by James and Cottel shows that ants have cyclical rest periods where they rest collectively, lasting about 8 minutes in a 12-hour period. You are going to weigh a little less when the moon is directly overhead. Indeed, this is accurate. According to the computation, a person weighing 100 kilograms will weigh 0.48 g less. They will weigh 0.5 g less when the moon is exactly overhead because the moon attracts people in the same way that tides attract water. Sneezing too forcefully might fracture a rib. Attempting to hold back a sneeze might cause a potentially deadly blood vessel tear in your head or neck. Yes, you run the risk of rupturing your eardrums, irritating your throat, and, in the worst situation, tearing blood vessels in your eyes or brain if you stop the pressure from a sneeze. Tension. Our health is very important. If you care about your health and like to learn new information, please follow the channel and like the video. It's all for you. Let's move on. Minus 40 degrees Celsius is equal to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Does that sound strange to you? Celsius and Fahrenheit are two different temperature scales. They are equal only at minus 40 degrees Celsius and minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It is physically impossible for pigs to lift their heads and look at the sky. Pigs' neck muscles and spinal structures restrict their head movement, so it is impossible for them to look directly at the sky. It is sad that they cannot look at the sky. Rhythm is the longest non-vowel English word. Rhythm is the longest English word that contains 7 letters without a single traditional vowel. Known for its complexity, the sixth sheep is considered the hardest tongue twister in the English language. According to the Guinness World Records, this tongue twister is recognized as the most challenging ever documented. It is quite difficult to say more than one time in a fast speed. I had a hard time saying it, you can try it too. Each king on the playing cards represents a great king in history. Club Alexander the Great, spades King David, diamond Julius Caesar, the cup Charlemagne. How interesting, isn't it? This is the first I've ever heard of it. What do bulletproof vests, fire escapes, windshield wipers, and laser printers have in common? They were all invented by women. I congratulate women on that. I'm glad you're here. The tongue of a crocodile cannot stick out. A membrane in crocodiles holds the tongue in place, making it nearly impossible for the tongue to come out of the mouth. A snail has a 3-year sleep cycle. Snails need moisture to survive. If the weather conditions are extreme, they can sleep for up to 3 years. This varies depending on geography, and they can hibernate or estivate to escape warmer climates. Humans would be a bit of a challenge too. Would you like to sleep for 3 years? Butterflies taste with their feet. This may sound strange, but butterflies detect food with taste sensors on their feet. That's why they stand on a leaf to test its taste. It sounds very interesting. Elephants are unique among mammals as they are unable to jump due to the structure of their leg bones, which are positioned straight down, limiting their ability to push off the ground like other animals. Therefore, they cannot make the springing movement necessary for jumping. If they could jump, we would probably feel it deeply, right? Most lipsticks contain fish scales. Many lipsticks contain a byproduct of fish scales called pearlescent extract or pearlescence. This substance makes the fish scales shine and makes the lips look shiny. We owe a lot to fish. One vending machine for every 40 persons can be found in Japan. There are among the most vending machines in Japan. While drinks make up the majority of these machines' offerings, some also sell ice cream, noodles, and disposable cameras. Which letter is the only one that cannot be found in the names of any US states? It's neither X nor Y. In actuality, it's the letter Q, and none of the US states have that as their name. The renowned physicist Marie Curie's notebook cannot be securely stored because it is still radioactive. The shortest war in history was the British Zanzibari struggle. It lasted for around 38 minutes on August 27, 1896. Do you find that interesting? Ice cream was invented by a child by accident. Boredom is actually a physiological state of high arousal, because your heart rate increases when you are bored. If a martial artist smiles before a match, he is more likely to lose. That's because smiling can imply fear or submission. Strange information, isn't it? When you sleep poorly, you recall more of your dreams. Research indicates that those who had difficulty falling asleep and wake up several times during the night are more likely to remember specific information from their dreams. Sleeping through the night is essential. Our brain burns 400 to 500 calories a day. This is about 1/5 of our total energy needs. A large portion of this energy is used for processing sensory information and managing muscle actions. Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi, valued at $450.3 million, is recognized as the most expensive painting in the world. Albert Einstein graciously declined the invitation to become Israel's president. Turtle shells can be punctured by jaguar fangs. You can imagine how sharp their teeth are. Before the invention of the alarm clock, doormen knocked on townspeople's doors to wake them up. How important alarm clocks were. The acid in our stomachs is potent enough to break down food, but the stomach remains unharmed because its walls are constantly renewing themselves. Newborns initially perceive the world in shades of black and white. Over time, they begin to see other colors. A drop of blood can be detected by sharks 5 kilometers away. The only animals that can burn from the sun are pigs. Cats have a very high vibration sensitivity. They can therefore detect an earthquake 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. Because our sense of taste is diminished by 20 to 50% at high altitudes, airline food is not particularly appetizing. The laying hen's feather color determines whether the egg is brown or white. Eggs are laid differently by hens with different feather and ear colors. Specifically, eggs laid by chickens with brown feathers and ears are brown. The lifespan of birds is quite long. There are even bird species that live for over 100 years. Isn't that interesting? There are about 17,000 pores on the surface of the egg that are too small to see. This is where the chicks get their oxygen, whereas we assume that the egg is completely airtight. A surprising fact. The purpose of freezers for Eskimos is to prevent food from freezing, not to chill it. Only 12 letters make up the Hawaiian alphabet. Compared to strawberries, a kilogram of lemons has more sugar. Isn't it a surprising fact that sour lemons contain sugar? Researchers have found that the Earth's rotation speed has increased. Recent studies reveal that the planet is now spinning faster than it has in the last 50 years, resulting in slightly shorter days than the standard 24 hours. Do you think this will change even more? Honey is the only natural food produced without destroying any living thing. Even getting milk from cows requires cows to eat grass. Do you think that's true? The largest animal in the world is the blue whale. It also has the largest heart of any animal, and its weight reaches 26 tons in 22 months.